Skippy is recalling nearly 10,000 cases of peanut butter because they could contain small pieces of stainless steel.
Peanut butter creamy, crunchy, and a breakfast staple in almost every kitchen. It's marketed as a protein-packed, heart-healthy spread. But what if I told you that many of the most popular peanut butter brands are secretly loaded with harmful oils, added sugars, and even toxic mold residues? That healthy spoonful might not be so innocent after all. In today's video, we're exposing 8 peanut butter brands you should absolutely avoid at all costs, and revealing 2 that are actually safe and worth keeping in your pantry. So grab your toast and make sure you stick around till the end, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more truth-filled food breakdowns just like this one. 1. Skippy peanut butter. Let's start with one of the biggest names on supermarket shelves. Skippy, it's the peanut butter we all grew up with, the one your parents probably packed in your lunchbox, and the brand that's advertised as fun and full of protein. But here's the truth. Skippy's classic peanut butter is far from the wholesome snack it appears to be. Back in 2014, Skippy actually had to recall thousands of jars due to possible metal shavings found in their product. Yes, metal shavings. But even setting that shocking incident aside, what's inside the jar today isn't much better. Skippy's ingredient list reads more like a chemistry set than a simple nut spread. It's loaded with hydrogenated vegetable oils, a source of trans fats, added sugar, and salt, all of which strip away the natural benefits of peanuts. Hydrogenated oils are especially concerning because they've been linked to heart disease, inflammation, and even insulin resistance. You'd think a food made from peanuts would be naturally rich in good fats, but instead, Skippy clogs your arteries with the worst kind. The added sugar doesn't help either, turning a naturally protein-packed food into a sugary calorie bomb. And here's another thing most people don't realize: Skippy often uses peanuts that are heavily treated with pesticides before processing. Combine that with the preservatives and cheap fillers, and you're left with something that's a long way from natural. So next time you reach for that bright blue jar, remember, Skippy might taste like nostalgia, but it's a dangerous mix of unhealthy fats, sugar, and questionable ingredients. It's one peanut butter that's better left on the shelf no matter how smooth or crunchy it claims to be. 2. Jif peanut butter. Next up is Jif, one of America's most trusted and beloved peanut butter brands. Choosy moms choose Jif, right? Well, it turns out that choosy moms might be choosing more than just peanuts and protein. They're also choosing a cocktail of unhealthy additives and risky ingredients hiding behind that smooth, creamy texture. In 2022, Jif made national headlines after recalling millions of jars due to a salmonella outbreak that sickened dozens across the U.S. The FDA linked several foodborne illness cases directly to contaminated Jif products. A scary reminder that even major brands aren't immune to serious food safety issues. But contamination isn't the only problem here. Jif's regular peanut butter is packed with hydrogenated vegetable oils, added sugars, and excess sodium, all designed to make it taste richer and last longer on the shelf. Unfortunately, these ingredients are also known contributors to heart disease, obesity, and chronic inflammation. Hydrogenated oils are particularly dangerous because they contain trans fats, which are proven to raise bad cholesterol, LDL, and lower the good kind, HDL. Meanwhile, added sugar spikes your blood glucose levels, and sodium overload strains your cardiovascular system. Together, they turn what should be a wholesome snack into a slow health hazard. And here's something many people overlook. Jif uses peanuts that are often contaminated with aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by mold that grows on improperly stored nuts. Even in trace amounts, aflatoxins have been linked to liver damage and an increased risk of cancer. So, while that red lid and comforting flavor might remind you of childhood, the reality is less sweet. Jif's long ingredient list, contamination history, and heavy processing make it one of the worst peanut butter choices on the market today. If you're after a spread that's truly natural and nutritious, it's best to skip Jif because behind that friendly label lies a mix of chemicals, unhealthy fats, and real health risks that your body doesn't deserve. 3. Peter Pan peanut butter. At first glance, Peter Pan peanut butter sounds like something straight out of a childhood dream, fun, nostalgic, and comforting. But behind that whimsical name lies a history that's far from magical. In fact, Peter Pan has faced some of the most serious food safety scandals in the peanut butter industry. Back in 2007, the brand made national news when it was linked to a massive salmonella outbreak that infected over 600 people across 47 states. The FDA's investigation traced the contamination back to their manufacturing plant in Georgia, operated by Conagra Foods. It was a public relations nightmare and a terrifying reminder that even trusted brands can pose real dangers when quality control slips. Fast forward to today, and while Peter Pan may have cleaned up its act in terms of safety, its ingredient list still raises red flags. Instead of sticking to simple, wholesome peanuts, Peter Pan packs in added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and artificial stabilizers to keep the product shelf-stable and ultra-creamy. These additives might make the texture irresistible, but they do so at a serious health cost. The hydrogenated oils, especially when derived from cheap soybean or cottonseed oil, are known to contribute to heart disease and artery damage. Add in extra sugar and excess sodium, and you've turned what should be a heart-healthy spread into a hidden trap of empty calories. Even worse, some reports suggest that low-cost peanut sources used in mass production may be exposed to aflatoxin contamination, the same dangerous mold toxin that can cause liver damage and, over time, increase cancer risk. So while the packaging might remind you of simpler times, maybe a school lunch or a favorite snack, the modern version of Peter Pan peanut butter is a far cry from the natural food it pretends to be. Bottom line, Peter Pan might fly you back to childhood memories, but it won't do your health any favors today. The magic is gone, replaced by a mix of unhealthy fats, sugars, and safety concerns that make it one of the peanut butter brands you're better off leaving on the shelf. 4. Great Value Peanut Butter, Walmart brand. Now let's talk about Great Value, Walmart's budget-friendly peanut butter brand that many families grab without a second thought. It's cheap, convenient, and tastes good enough for toast, smoothies, or late-night spoonfuls straight from the jar. But as the saying goes, you get what you pay for. The truth behind Great Value peanut butter is anything but great. In recent years, this brand has been called out for containing excessive added sugars, cheap hydrogenated oils, and high sodium levels ingredients that completely cancel out the natural benefits of peanuts. Instead of real roasted nuts, you're mostly getting a blend of filler oils, stabilizers, and sweeteners designed to mimic the texture and flavor of real peanut butter at a fraction of the cost. Even more concerning, Walmart's Great Value peanut butter was part of the 2022 Jif recall, since it's produced in some of the same facilities. That recall stemmed from a salmonella contamination outbreak that led to several illnesses across multiple states. While Walmart pulled products from shelves, it raised a serious question. How safe are budget brands that rely on outsourced mass production facilities? Aside from contamination risks, the real danger of Great Value lies in its everyday use. The brand lists hydrogenated vegetable oil, often soybean or rapeseed oil, sugar, salt, and molasses among its ingredients. The result? A spread that's higher in omega-6 fats and trans fat traces, both known to trigger inflammation and heart issues when consumed regularly. To make matters worse, the peanuts themselves are rarely organic and often treated with pesticides before processing. Combine that with the stabilizers and preservatives, and you've got a jar of peanut butter that's more chemistry experiment than natural food. Sure, it's cheap, but cheap comes at a cost. When you save $1 or $2 at checkout, you might be paying for it later with your health. Bottom line, Great Value peanut butter might fit your budget, but it doesn't fit into a healthy lifestyle. When your value comes packed with hydrogenated oil, sugar, and potential contaminants, it's time to look for something better. 5. Smucker's peanut butter. At first glance, Smucker's peanut butter looks like the healthier, more natural choice after all. The brand is famous for its wholesome image and old-fashioned glass jars. You might even think you're doing your body a favor by picking the natural version. But the reality? Smucker's isn't as innocent as it seems. Here's where things get tricky. Smucker's markets two main types of peanut butter: the natural line and the regular one. While the natural version only contains peanuts and a pinch of salt, the classic Smucker's peanut butter, the one most people grab, is loaded with fully hydrogenated oils, added sugars, and preservatives. These ingredients give it that smooth, spreadable texture, but they also destroy any of the natural health benefits that come from peanuts. Hydrogenated oils are the big red flag here. These oils have been heavily processed to extend shelf life and prevent oil separation, but they also introduce trans fats, which can raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and increase the risk of heart disease. Even if the label says 0 grams trans fat, it doesn't mean it's free from them. U.S. labeling laws allow small amounts to go unreported. Smucker's has also been criticized for using non-organic peanuts, which are often sprayed with glyphosate, a weed killer linked to health and environmental risks. Combine that with added sugar and salt, and you've got a product that's more about taste manipulation than true nutrition. And while the company likes to play on nostalgia with a name like Smucker's, it has to be good. It's mostly marketing fluff. The truth is, this peanut butter is highly processed, low in nutritional value, and for some consumers even triggered allergic reactions due to manufacturing cross-contamination with tree nuts and soy. So while Smucker's tries to ride the wave of tradition and family-friendly goodness, it's really no better than most processed spreads on the shelf. Bottom line, if you're choosing peanut butter for its health benefits, Smucker's might not be the hero you think it is. Behind that iconic red label lies a blend of industrial oils and hidden sugars that make it a spread to skip, not savor. 6. Reese's Peanut Butter Spread. You know that unmistakable orange packaging, Reese's. For decades, it's been the king of candy aisles, delivering that irresistible chocolate and peanut butter combo. So when Reese's introduced its own peanut butter spread, fans were thrilled. Who wouldn't want that classic flavor in spreadable form? But here's the catch. This jar is more candy than peanut butter, and it's one of the unhealthiest spreads you can buy. When you look at the label, you'll see peanuts listed first, but don't let that fool you. The next ingredients are sugar, hydrogenated vegetable oil, and cocoa, basically. The same ingredients found in a candy bar. In fact, almost half of the calories in this spread come from added sugar and unhealthy fats. So if you're spreading it on your toast thinking you're getting a protein-packed breakfast, you're really just eating dessert in disguise. What makes things worse is the presence of hydrogenated oils, which help give it that creamy consistency, but also introduce dangerous trans fats, the kind that raises your risk of heart disease, stroke, and inflammation. And since the FDA allows tiny amounts of trans fat to go unlisted if they're under a certain threshold, you could be consuming it without even realizing. But it doesn't stop there. Reese's Peanut Butter Spread is also very high in sodium, which only adds to the health risk. Excess sodium combined with sugar and fat creates that addictive flavor combo that keeps you coming back, and that's not by accident. Food scientists design it that way. And if you thought the contamination issues were just a problem with cheap grocery brands, think again in 2022. The parent company Hershey faced backlash for mislabeling and allergen concerns in several peanut-based products. The truth is, Reese's Peanut Butter Spread is more of a sweet treat than a source of nutrition. It's engineered for taste, not health. Bottom line, Reese's may be great in a candy wrapper, but it has no place in your pantry as a spread. It's essentially dessert pretending to be breakfast, and your body deserves better than that sugary illusion. 7. Planters Peanut Butter. Now here's a brand that almost everyone recognizes. Planters, the iconic peanut company with Mr. Peanut in his top hat and monocle. You'd expect the peanut pros to nail the perfect peanut butter, right? But sadly, Planters peanut butter is far from a healthy choice. It's another case of marketing outshining nutrition. The first red flag? Hydrogenated vegetable oils. These are used to make the peanut butter extra smooth and shelf-stable, but they also add dangerous trans fats. The same kind that can clog your arteries, raise bad cholesterol, and lead to serious heart problems over time. Even if the label says 0 grams trans fat, that doesn't mean it's truly free of it. Food companies are legally allowed to round down small amounts, so every spoonful might still contain harmful fats that slowly add up. Next up is added sugar. Planters doesn't hold back when it comes to sweetening their spread. A 2 tablespoon serving packs and 3 to 4 grams of sugar, which doesn't sound like much until you realize that most people eat twice that amount in one sitting. This sugar spike, combined with unhealthy fats, can trigger inflammation, fatigue, and even increase your cravings throughout the day. And let's not forget the sodium content. One serving can contain over 150 milligrams of sodium, which might not seem excessive on its own, but when combined with the sugar and fat, it turns your so-called healthy snack into a mini blood pressure bomb. What's even more disappointing is that Planters markets this peanut butter as made with real peanuts, which technically isn't wrong, but when you drown those peanuts in added oils, sugars, and preservatives, it completely defeats the purpose. It's like turning something natural and wholesome into processed junk. In short, Planters might have mastered the art of salted peanuts, but when it comes to peanut butter, they've missed the mark. You're better off skipping this jar altogether and reaching for brands that keep things simple, just peanuts, and maybe a pinch of salt. Bottom line, Planters. Peanut butter might seem like a trusted household name, but the ingredients tell a different story, one full of hydrogenated oils, added sugar, and sneaky sodium. Your heart and waistline will thank you if you leave this one on the shelf. 8. Goober Peanut Butter and Jelly Stripes. Fun, especially for kids. The classic Goober Peanut Butter and Jelly Stripes by Smucker's with those alternating layers of peanut butter and jelly in a single jar. It's colorful, it's nostalgic, and it promises convenience. But beneath that swirl of sweetness lies one of the worst offenders when it comes to processed peanut products. At first glance, Goober seems like the perfect shortcut for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But when you flip the jar around, the ingredient list tells a very different story. The first few ingredients? High fructose corn syrup, sugar, and hydrogenated vegetable oils, not peanuts. In fact, Goober contains more sweeteners and artificial additives than real peanut content. Just 2 tablespoons of this stuff can load you up with 10 to 12 grams of sugar, and the jelly portion alone is mostly corn syrup and artificial grape flavoring. That's basically dessert disguised as breakfast. The hydrogenated oils also mean trans fats, which are linked to inflammation, heart disease, and higher cholesterol. And while the idea of combining peanut butter and jelly in one jar sounds convenient, it's also a marketing trick. By mixing both together, the brand ensures you consume more sugar than you would with regular peanut butter, because you're getting jelly in every single spoonful, even when you might not want it. Nutritionists often call Goober a sugar bomb in a jar, and for good reason. It's one of those products that parents often buy for kids thinking it's fun and quick, but it ends up being a daily sugar dose that spikes energy levels and crashes soon after. There have even been consumer complaints about Goober jars separating, with the jelly becoming watery and the peanut butter oily over time, a sign of poor quality stabilizers and overprocessing. If you're serious about healthy eating, Goober should not be in your pantry. The convenience isn't worth the sugar overload or the cheap ingredients. Instead, you can easily make your own peanut butter and jelly using natural peanut butter and real fruit jam, healthier, tastier, and free from the lab-made nonsense that Goober packs in. So while it may look like a childhood favorite, Goober is really just a sweet trap wrapped in nostalgia. Leave it on the shelf, your body will thank you. After talking about all these heavily processed, sugar-packed peanut butters that should never make it into your kitchen, let's take a breath because it's not all bad news. There are peanut butter brands out there that still keep things real. Brands that stay true to the simplicity of what peanut butter was meant to be. Just peanuts, maybe a little salt, and nothing else. So now let's flip the script. We've seen what to avoid. Now it's time to explore what's actually worth spreading on your toast. Here are a few healthy, all-natural peanut butter brands that prove you don't need added sugar, oils, or preservatives to enjoy that perfect creamy flavor. Healthy alternative 1. Santa Cruz Organic Peanut Butter. If you're ready to say goodbye to the artificial sugary spreads, Santa Cruz Organic Peanut Butter is one of the best ways to return to real peanut flavor. This isn't your average supermarket peanut butter. It's made with just 2 ingredients: organic roasted peanuts and a pinch of salt. No hydrogenated oils, no sugar, no stabilizers. Just pure, wholesome peanut goodness. The biggest difference you'll notice right away is the texture and aroma. When you open the jar, it's slightly separated, a thin layer of natural peanut oil floats on top. That's a good thing. It means there are no emulsifiers or fake thickeners holding it together. A quick stir, and you've got rich, creamy peanut butter that actually tastes like peanuts, not like candy. Each serving delivers around 8 grams of protein and healthy monounsaturated fats that help support heart health and provide long-lasting energy. Unlike the sugar-loaded brands, Santa Cruz won't give you that quick spike and crash. Instead, it's slow energy, perfect for breakfasts, smoothies, or even baking. And here's the kicker. It's USDA certified organic and non-GMO, project verified, meaning every spoonful is made from peanuts grown without harmful pesticides or synthetic fertilizers. That alone sets it apart from mass market brands that often source cheap pesticide-heavy peanuts from bulk suppliers. Fans love the flavor. It's slightly roasted, a bit nutty, and perfectly balanced with just enough salt to bring out the natural taste. Plus, because there's no added sugar, you're in control. You can add honey if you want a touch of sweetness, or keep it pure and earthy. Health experts often recommend Santa Cruz because it stays true to what peanut butter is supposed to be: a natural source of protein and healthy fat, not a sugar trap pretending to be food. If you've ever wished peanut butter could taste like real peanuts again, this is the one that delivers. It's clean, honest, and incredibly satisfying. The perfect reminder that sometimes simpler really is better. Healthy. Alternative 2, Teddy All Natural Peanut Butter. Another underrated gem in the world of real peanut butter is Teddy All Natural, a brand that's been making small batch peanut butter since 1925 and has built a loyal following among people who want old school flavor with modern health values. What makes Teddy stand out is its simplicity and integrity. Like Santa Cruz, it uses only roasted peanuts and salt, no added sugar, no palm oil, and no preservatives. The company roasts its peanuts in small batches, which gives the butter a deeper, more authentic roasted taste that's completely different from the overly sweet supermarket brands. Teddy is also non-GMO verified, gluten-free, and made in a facility that's committed to sustainable sourcing. It's proof that healthy food doesn't need to be complicated or expensive. Each serving packs 7 grams of protein and a rich dose of healthy fats, making it a great snack for athletes, busy professionals, or anyone looking for something real. It's also one of the few natural peanut butters that blends well for cooking, whether it's in a peanut sauce, smoothie bowl, or even healthy cookies. One of the reasons people love Teddy is the taste. It's not bitter, not too oily, and doesn't feel heavy. Just stir it up and you'll get a creamy texture that spreads easily without the sticky mess you sometimes find in natural brands. Compared to commercial spreads filled with hydrogenated oils and emulsifiers, Teddy feels like a breath of fresh air. It's made the way peanut butter used to be, back when food was simple and ingredients were recognizable. So, if you're ready to make the switch from the ultra-processed peanut butters that fill grocery shelves, give Teddy a try. It's proof that you don't need sugar or chemicals to make something taste incredible. Just peanuts, a pinch of salt, and nearly a century of craftsmanship. And there you have it, the truth about peanut butter brands most of us grew up trusting. Some might look wholesome on the label, but behind that shiny packaging hides loads of sugar, hydrogenated oils, and unnecessary additives that do your health no favors. But the good news? You don't have to give up peanut butter altogether. By switching to natural, organic brands like the ones we just talked about, you can still enjoy that rich, nutty flavor, without all the junk. It's all about being smart, reading labels, and choosing food that fuels your body instead of draining it. Remember, the big food companies won't tell you what's really in their products. But that's why we're here, to help you see what's behind the marketing and make choices that actually serve your health. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we've got more eye-opening breakdowns coming your way. Everything from your favorite snacks to the hidden dangers in everyday groceries. Stay sharp, stay healthy, and keep rising with us, because knowledge is your most powerful ingredient.